Hey there, welcome to my vlog. My name is Danny. Today is Tuesday, November 1st, 2016. It's 8:27 p.m. So today in my vlog, I think I'm just gonna talk about a variety of topics. Um, the first one being is, well, I went to that poster sale at the university at Munn the other day, and actually, this is the first time that I've ever really been there, or and first time I ever bought anything. I guess I never even bothered to go ever throughout the years because I just kind of thought that it was a very sort of artsy type of thing, and because it's affiliated with a university where they're not really allowed to sell anything um, to, I don't know how you describe that, graphic, meaning I kind of assumed that all of the stuff would just be pretty conservative, therefore pretty dull and boring. So I never even bothered to go. But this year I went and, well, they did change the location. They made it, they changed the location this year, trying to make it more centralized in the university center. That's the reason why they changed it, because probably their sales have been pretty lame. And so I went and took a look. The first day that I went, it was pretty crazy in there. I mean, there were so many students, the lineup was brutal. I didn't buy anything, but then a few days later, I went and it was still pretty busy. And I decided to buy three. Um, and they're only there for a week, and they go like from university to university and that type of thing. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird system or weird thing, because it's a business that, because they just move around from university to university after only a week. I mean, they definitely have issues with with supply. I don't know how they replenish their their stock, and when they run out of stuff, and that can be definitely a problem. But the other thing too is like the system there, because usually when you um, walk into a business, you just get what you want, pay for it, that's it. So they're, well, and plus this was my first time, and they have this like catalog system or whatever. So it's kind of like this piece of paper, and it's like, shouldn't really be a big deal at all. But and I wasn't even gonna bother use it at all. So, but I thought, oh well, I'll just try to get with the program. And um, so I wrote down these things, and when you're shopping and stuff, um, you don't always know exactly what you want. And so I would go, and because there's so many different posters there, and so I would go and I would just write down some of them that I thought that I liked and thought that I wanted, and then there was more. I jot down the other ones too, because you need to remember them too. And then I sort of like narrowed it down to three, and so while I was at the counter trying to pay for it, like the guy was just, I don't know how to describe it, like kind of like very direct. And then he's like you're supposed to just like you should have like scratched off the ones that you don't want or something like that. But I mean, I what I did was I knew that I was only going to buy three. So I literally numbered them like one, two, and three right next to them, and I told him that right at the beginning. But he still goes like, you're supposed to scratch them off or whatever. And I don't know, he's kind of like just a very direct person. I don't, I, I don't really want to say rude, but kind of. And um, and then he goes, and then he goes, um, put them in like the blue bag, and he goes, only the blue bags. And so I didn't really know what he meant by that. And then there's this one box. There's only one box that I saw, and they were bags that were tubular, for if you want to put a wrap that poster in them. And they were all basically transparent, and and so I was kind of confused as to what he meant by only use the blue ones, and they were all the same anyways. And so there was his coworker there, so I just asked him. I go, like, what did he mean by blue bag? And then the guy was like, very like, yeah, he was just very snarky and rude to me, and he goes something like, well, like, he said something like, well, there's only like, I mean, those bags are blue or something like that. And but like they were transparent. I think they had like the blue like logo or whatever, but I don't know. I just found them to be the guy that I asked that, like the second guy, was rather rude to me too, and there were only like those two workers um, the whole time, so I just wasn't really impressed with their attitude and customer service there. Um, I didn't want to say anything. I just wanted just to get out of there. The other thing too that I noticed was like they were supposed to close, and it was written down in numerous places that they were only supposed to close at like um, 9 p.m. And so I was there definitely maybe at around, I don't know, like um, 8:15 p.m. or whatever. And then I noticed like at like 8:30 p.m., a full half hour before 9 p.m., like one of the guys started like putting all the stuff away. Um, I'm sorry, I really don't like that, right? When you advertise or you write down that you're closing at 9 p.m., that means you close at 9 p.m., you're open till 9 p.m., right? I mean, if you're starting to take things down at 8:30 p.m. and you're putting things away, you're basically closing the store at like that time, which is a full half hour. So it's another thing that I wasn't really impressed with. But I don't know. Maybe it just has something to do with the fact it's one of those like travel type businesses where they're only there for a week, so they don't really care. Um, but anyways, yeah. So I bought three. So I'm gonna show you the three that I bought. Well, one of them you've been looking at it. So um, let me see if I can get a better focus on it. Uh, let's see here. Uh, I'm getting better with these camera tricks. I'm definitely not a professional videographer of any sort. Yeah, so this is the Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It's their most recent movie. Yeah, so pretty happy with this one. That's pretty cool. And Um, yeah, so this is just a normal type poster. It's just, you know, a paper poster. And so the other one that I got is a Paris poster. And yeah, so let me see if I can focus this in here. Yeah, so on the writings on the poster says Paris, Paris, Ville de l'Amour, City of Love. I learned French when I was in school, so that's how I know. But if I remember right, the um, when I was there, there's like a little description on the side, and it said Seine Paris, like Seine, if I remember right. So Seine Paris, so it's probably like a subdivision of Paris. So this one here is like a hologram type, right? So I mean, if you look at it from different angles, you can. It's kind of like you can. The poster sort of kind of moves around, sort of, and it's kind of like a plastic laminate type thing. Okay. And the other one that I got is it's okay. Let's see if I can get a better focus here. Basically, Spider-Man and a few other comic book characters. Yeah, the name says Marvel Comics, Marvel Comics. So basically, like Marvel, all of the superheroes that have to do with Marvel, like so I recognized the Hulk, Thor, um, the brown guy that like I think he breaks apart into small pieces like a big like rock. I don't really know his name. Captain America. I don't really even know the other ones. I don't think that's yeah. But anyways, yeah, I don't even really know the other ones for some reason. Yeah. So um, switch back. Okay. Yeah, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about maybe is the weather around here. Today has been extremely wet and rainy day, very cold, and it's kind of like freezing rain. I was out there, and it's brutal. I mean, winter is bad with snow, but like for me, like freezing rain is almost like worse. Um, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was um, soccer. So, because I know that a lot of the people who watch this are my soccer friends. Like we had a soccer pickup on Sunday, so this was a big improvement from the week before because the turnout was very good, and but I did things a little differently to make sure that the numbers were better. So, and yeah, like we played in the green court, um, which is fine. And maybe just a couple like comments were was that overall, like I just was very satisfied with the game. We had a really good game and stuff like that. Um, competitive yet pretty sportsmanlike. Um, Bibs, yeah, like remember, like those are my bibs. I went through the trouble of buying them. Not an easy thing to do. And really, like the goal of them is pretty simple. They're markers so that um, they're markers so that people can um, they're markers so that people can um, see basically who's on what team, right? And it's very hard to play soccer or really any team sport without markers of some sort or without bibs or uniforms or whatever. I noticed there were just a few, just a very select few people who were not wearing them. Really, that's not good, right? It's wearing the bibs. It's not that big of a deal. I wear them. I've been wearing them for quite a while now, and um, really, like when I have them on, I really literally don't notice that they're on at all. So they're like not really a problem. It's like I don't find them uncomfortable or anything. I don't just yeah, like I don't notice them that they're on me at all. So I want everybody in the future to like wear them, and it's also being respectful for everybody else, like through a game sort of perspective, because when you're playing, you want to be able to know who's not only on your team but who's on the other team. Because if you don't, you get confused. You're going to make yourself look bad by going after someone who's on your team or passing it to the wrong person or whatever. Um, yeah. Um, the other thing was the nets, sort of. So I use pylons. Um, I know I've seen other people indoor that, you know, in our community that, in our soccer community that have bought their own nets. I'm not really going to do that at this point because it's too expensive and it's a pain in the butt for me those have to be set up, right? So they have to set them up at the beginning, take them off at the end, and you only kind of get like 50 minutes. So that takes up some of that time and it's annoying. So that's sort of not on my immediate wish list. So if we use pylons and we're taking score, because sometimes we play the 5 minute rule or who scores first. So the scoring is pretty important sometimes. So kind of like, I don't know, I'm not really sure, but maybe we could say something like that it counts as a score if um, the ball has to be like at the goaltender's waist level or lower. Then it counts as a goal. If it's any higher than that, it doesn't count. But again, I think that's pretty fair, but we can talk about that later. So, um, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move on from that and say, yeah, so yesterday was Halloween. Well, um, one thing that comes to mind was I was taking the city bus here, and I walk in, and the bus driver was handing out, including me, like treats, like, and so, like, I was pretty impressed by that. Like, I took a sucker, so lollipop or whatever you want to call it, but that was pretty nice. I don't think they've done that before, but um, I thought that was pretty cool. Um, Maybe I'll just try to thought I'd just add a couple things. Um, I watch a lot of like vlogs, and a lot of them tend to talk about like TV shows. I used to watch quite a bit of TV. I don't really anymore. Um, I don't know. One of the shows that um, I still watch is I don't really watch like that much like reality TV. Like in the summer, like I'll watch Big Brother US, and there's a Canadian version too. Um, and I still watch Survivor and stuff. Um, Movies, yeah, like I guess I've sort of don't really haven't been I hadn't had that much time to watch movies lately. Um, all I can think of is the there has been a movie on the Ed Snowden thing. Um, the director was Oliver Stone, and he's a great director. That's a fascinating story. Ed Snowden is very interesting. um, but I didn't go because basically they're all actors, and you know, it sort of, if I want to see it, it'd have to be more legitimate, where it'd have to be the actual people. So a little too fake for me. Tom Cruise has also been promoting his new movie Jack Reacher. Um, Actually, the only reason that I saw the first one was because my brother bought me the first one on DVD as a gift, and so I watched it. That's the only reason why I watched it. And actually, the first one was really good. I really recommend it. Um, Netflix. I haven't really been on it in a while, but I watched the Narcos, that season one, and that was pretty good. I looked it up just recently, and I guess season two is supposedly up. I watched like House of Cards, um, so I think I'm caught up. I don't know when the next season will be up, and Orange is the New Black. Yeah, I think I'm caught up with that one too, and I don't know when the next one is up to. But yeah, I'm not really that much of a fan of Netflix. Um, I don't find that, like, because I live in Canada and I have, I'm stuck with the Canadian version. Maybe that's a problem. Is I just find the amount of choice on there is extremely limited. Therefore, I usually don't really find anything that I really want to watch. I think it's pretty overrated. Um, um, Perhaps maybe if you can, for people who have the American version, um, whether you're in the States already and just using the American version, or I guess there's a way to get it from other countries or whatever, that probably makes a big difference. Because I think that has U.S. Netflix has much bigger choice. I don't really know, but I just know that the Canadian version is extremely limiting, therefore lame, and for me it kind of sucks because there's not much that I want to see. Okay, yeah. So, um, thanks. I'm just gonna wrap this up and say um, thanks for watching this vlog. Appreciate it, and let me know, right? So like thumbs up, like comment, share, whatever, right? Um, so um, in the in in the spirit of um, Halloween, and in celebration of this excellent new poster that I got, we'll end it like this.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy's father and son.